Hello again, everybody. I'm Snapper Lancaster, welcoming you to another edition of the Central Alabama High School Sports Show. Well, this will be the first show of our spring edition of the Central Alabama High School Sports Show. We got two outstanding coaches that will be bringing some of their athletes with us. We've got a track coach that they're getting into the spring events for their season. And also we got a baseball coach because it's baseball, softball, golf, tennis, soccer. These are all the sports we'll be covering in the next few weeks, and we'll try to have as many coaches and athletes as we possibly can. We also like to remind you from time to time, please folks, if you get a chance, frequent our sponsors that we have on the program, because without those folks we wouldn't be on and we wouldn't be able to bring all these coaches and athletes. And of course, this is busiest time and down at the Birmingham Jefferson Civic Center now. You got the high school finals in both boys and girls basketballs, and we had about 17 from the Jefferson County area represented. I know Midfield had a basketball team in it, and they've been knocked out. And we've got the playoffs going even as we speak and as we're doing our program. And I know two of the outstanding teams that are still in the playoffs as of right now. The Mountain Brook Spartans have a great chance. They've been number one almost all year long in boys basketball. In girls basketball, the Winona Dragons, Coach Emmanuel Bell and his Lady Dragons are going for their 5th championship in a row. And so, of course, Coach Bell is the one that we're all familiar with that's been battling cancer the last few years, and we're hoping for the best for him and his team. He's got another outstanding chance to win that 5th in a row. And so this time next week, we'll be able to see if that comes to fruition. But for right now, we're looking forward to our guest tonight, and we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, our first guest, don't you go away.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors, a company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. Where at Huffman Electrical Contractors, a satisfied customer is always their number one objective.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of heaven is always best. Now you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
And folks, welcome back. You can tell I've got this gentleman that's been in the coaching business quite a long time, and I've known him quite a while. And of course, we're talking about Brett Huber, the outstanding track coach at Vestavia High School. Coach, always good to see you.
Thanks, Snapper. Great to be here.
And as we get into this, first for the people that might be seeing you for the first time, tell us a little about your background and how you ended up at Vestavia and how long you've been there now.
Well, that's a great question. Well, I'm actually an old Tennessee boy. Grew up in East Tennessee. Went to the University of Tennessee and did a couple of career fairs in my master's program and met some people from Jefferson County. So I brought me here years ago in '93. Was at Gardendale, actually we were talking about, for 6 years, and now I've been at Vestavia since 1999. So. And time flies because it doesn't seem like it's been that long.
Well, I tell you what, talking about it being that long, you coming in '99, that was the first year I did the play-by-play for Vestavia. So we were around a long time together, and
That's right.
of course you've been very successful at your track program. I know you've had championships, both indoor, outdoor, and everything. Talk about this year's team, what your expectations were, and I know something else, Coach. I like to ask track coaches. I want you to get your feelings about this. Y'all are one of the few coaches that coach a sport all year round. You start off with cross country, and then indoor, and then outdoor. So I mean, sort of a busy season, busy
You're
year.
right. It's a different calling. Every sport has its calling, but track definitely does for the track coaches. But we've had a wonderful year. Our boys' distance program was very strong. Had a shot at maybe winning cross country, and we got third. And then the boys finished really strong in indoor, and we got second. So we were real excited about that. We haven't done that since 2001 with the Trey Hardy group. So this has been a great year so far, and now we're just reworking, getting ready for spring, and going into outdoor.
Well, now let me ask you this, and I could be asking this completely wrong. I hope not, but I'm asking the right person if I am. Is the spring season the busiest of the three? It seems like there's more events that you can run. I know, like the indoor, you don't have many indoor tournaments because of the weather.
Right.
And so from the spring, you've got a lot more ideal weather for all the different events that y'all run and everything. So that's what I've always thought. And like in the cross country, that's exactly the only event you got. But you run quite a lot. Mm-hmm. But it seems like as far as youngsters and the numbers of them you work with, is the spring the busiest season?
It is. Cross country, we have more meets than indoor. Indoor is colder, so we get less, participation because we're outside every day, no matter what. Right. And it's about 4 to 6 meets. But outdoor, it's 10 to 12 meets. It's warmer. We average about 100 athletes in indoor and 150. This year's one of the, maybe the highest we've ever had, is almost at 150. Really? For a participation, yeah, so it's great.
Well, that's something else I enjoy having coaches such as yourself expand on. And one of them is the participation, the number of young athletes that do participate in track. It has definitely grown through the years, hasn't it?
It has, and every school is different. All schools offer, different things, but at Vestavia, Vestavia is a very neat community because it's real simple for most parents. They want their kids involved in something or a lot of things. Right. And so we have a lot of participation in track every year for different reasons, and they're all good reasons.
Well, the one thing that I think about when I think about track is for the most part, this is the only sport that a lot of those youngsters participate in because of the 3 different parts of the season. Mm-hmm. And so with that thought in mind, let's talk about this group you got this year for the spring coming up. What kind of expectations do you have out of them? What kind of leadership? You got a lot of veterans, or do you have a lot of underclassmen on this year's group?
Well, I guess I'll springboard off of the indoor season because we had several state champions, but then we had maybe a third of our points in the indoor meet were 1 point that made the difference in us getting. So we really have both. We have veterans they're the best out there in different events. And we have some guys in the middle where they've been with us, but they're contributing a lot. And then we have some young guys, like in the indoor meet. We had some freshmen that scored by themselves and with teams, relay teams, and we'll have the same in the spring. So it's a mix. In some sports, you can't contribute maybe as early as you can in track, but with girls and boys, there's always freshmen and sophomores in what we do that if you train and the potential's there, you can make a difference and help your varsity team.
Well, I know this too. Talk about how much control do you have over the meets that y'all have, or do you have complete control, or are there some mandatory meets, if that's the right way to say it? What controls your schedule? Is it you or a combination?
Well, we don't have any conference schedules where we have to go against certain people, but pretty much it's cafeteria, smorgasbord. We pick out, here are the best meets in the state, here are the smallest, this or that, and then we put our schedule together. and we don't have to go to anything until we get to the sectional meets.
And so, are you primarily the person that determines where your meets will be?
I am. Yep.
Okay, so what I'm saying, big schools, little schools, does the size of the school or maybe the reputation of a school, good track program, excellent track program, sort of determine who you might want to put on your schedule, for lack of a better way to put it?
Yeah, we look at a couple things. One, we look at the facility because we like to run on a facility that's best for our athletes. And since Birmingham really has so many venues to look at, you know, and around Birmingham, you know, we always look at, you know, facilities important. One, how they host a meet. Is it a good facility, but they don't host well, or they host well, but it's not, you know, you look at those things because you want to be in a friendly environment where it's accessible to the parents and the athletes. And then also who's there. Is this going to be a challenge meet, or is this a meet where we need a workout, but we don't need a lot of competition? And so we're looking at all those variables, trying to put together, you know, what your kids need when they need it. You know, other sports do that. You know, some have cupcake schedules, right? Some have SEC schedules real hard. And then so depending on our teams, boys and girls, and what they need, let's make the magic of the season of putting that schedule together.
I was going to say, it's sort of like you work a schedule to where it might be most beneficial for the growth of your team, if that's a better way to put it. And I guess your sport is like any other sport. What you're looking for is those athletes to peak come playoff time, right? That's
right. That's the only reason whatever you see on our schedule, it's all for that reason, to produce the best finish.
Well, I tell you what, Coach, it's always good to see you and to talk about Vestavia and talk about your program, and because what a fantastic job you've done all through these years, and I expect there's quite a few more years still out there, right?
Well, thank you. That's right. But we have a great staff. I don't want anybody to miss that super staff that works with our athletes. And we really appreciate our parents, and the athletes work really hard. And if you see anything good, that's what has produced it. They've put the work in.
Well, Coach, once again, good to see you, and I'm hoping that this spring season maybe brings another one of those championships to you.
You never know.
Because the ability is there, and like you said, you just hope that, for lack of a better way to put it, that they peak about the time that the playoffs get there and good things happen for us. So I'd love to see you after the spring segment and have a championship to talk about.
That's right. That'd be great. We're
going to take a quick break. We come back. 4 young athletes. It's going to have a lot to do with the type season they have this spring at Vestavia. We'll be right back. The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors, a company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. Where at Huffman Electrical Contractors, a satisfied customer is always their #1 objective.
At Andrews Sports Medicine, we partner with our patients, trying to help them overcome the obstacles that keep them from achieving their goals.
This practice aggressively pursues victory over injury, over pain, over limitation, over anything that's going to keep you from being the best you can be.
It starts with our non-surgical physicians who are trained in sports medicine, orthopedic injuries. We have specialists in sports medicine with shoulders, elbows, and knees. We have hip specialists that do only hip surgery, including arthroscopy, minimally invasive resurfacing, and total hip replacement if needed. We have joint replacement surgeons. We have spine surgeons. We have surgeons that specialize in foot and ankle surgery and in hand surgery. So just about all the specialties of orthopedics are covered at Andrews Sports Medicine.
What makes the great surgeons great is their volume of experience at making decisions, whether that's intraoperative decisions, post-operative decisions, pre-operative decisions, the decision to operate on somebody or not operate on them. And so our volume here breeds good decision making. That gives us an edge in terms of making decisions for our patients, which ultimately is a lot of times the difference between success and failure. the teams, the players, the parents have confidence in us because they know we're going to communicate with them. We're going to create a plan unique to that athlete or that person, and we're going to get them back to their thing as quickly and as safely as we can.
At Injury Sports Medicine, our mission is to partner with our patients and to help them succeed and achieve victory. Whether you're a weekend warrior, a grandparent with a shoulder problem, or a professional athlete, you get the same care, the same high-level technology, the same aggressiveness that we would in a professional athlete, and we treat everyone the same way. None of us like to lose. We're all very competitive, and we're not going to lose against their illness or their injury.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
And folks, welcome back. As you can see, I got 4 outstanding young athletes sitting here beside me, track athletes that is, and they're all very good in their chosen sport and the events that they participate in. Sitting closest to me, I've got junior Catherine Ratliff, and you're a multi-events, which means what multi-events? Tell me some of the events you participate in.
I do the heptathlon and outdoor, and I also participate in pole vault.
Really?
Yes, sir, in the relay sprint events, like the 4x1.
Yeah. Do you ever wonder when you go up if you're going to come down? We know we're going to come down. We just hope we land right,
Yes,
right? Because that's always been something that I said, no, I'll stay on the ground.
Yes,
Second thing, we have Sophia Hinger, and senior, and you're a sprinter.
Yes,
and when we say sprinter, I think speed. What events do you participate in?
I do the 100, the 4x1, and the 200.
Oh, okay. And I will ask you, and I should ask Catherine, do you participate in any other sports?
No, this is it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You're year-round sort of then, right? And is the same, Sophia,
Yes,
for
sir.
you too? Okay. And then next to her, Carl Nesbitt, a senior, high jump. Here we go again. I wonder, what's the highest you've ever jumped?
6'8" ¼
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's pretty doggone good. And I don't even know nothing about track events. I was more football, you know. And Colin Scullard, senior,
Yes, sir.
javelin.
Yes, sir.
Now that's interesting.
It is. It's,
All right, I got a
it's tough
question that probably nobody's ever asked you.
sport. Okay.
You ain't ever crowned anybody with that javelin, have you? I mean, it hadn't got away.
I've gotten close. We've had a few close ones in practice, but no, I've never
Okay, well, I didn't think so, but I thought that's an interesting question. You throw those things around. I wonder if one ever got away, you know. But people have a way of getting out of the way of them, right? Well, now that makes sense. Catherine, have you been? How long have you been participating in track?
Since 7th grade.
Really? Oh,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
What is it about the stage of a track field that turned you on and made you decide that's what I would like to do?
Honestly, it was just like all the support you get from your teammates and that accomplished feeling like when you do well in a race, and it's just like all your hard work finally paid off, and that's just so rewarding, and it just keeps you coming back.
Well, now I tell you what, sports is a funny thing, and Sophia, I'm going to put you on the spot here. There's this little word called chemistry. Now, chemistry is a funny thing. If you've got good chemistry, boy, good things can happen. You can be the best you can be, not only individually, but as a team. But if you've got bad chemistry, you'll never maximize what you could do individually or as a team. Talk about the chemistry between not only the teammates, but the boys and girls aspect. Talk about that team chemistry.
Well, we all just motivate each other and work well with each other. And even though, like, it is sort of your individual racing, it's also a team thing.
Right.
And it's good to build friendships and those bonds with other people.
So are you a 9-month, that's school, we'll say 9 month, you a 9-month trackster? You know, is it fall?
Yeah, oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. because talking with Coach, I guess most of you athletes are, if that's your chosen sport. But I'll ask Carl. Y'all be interested. Good old senior over there, a lot of experience. Track your only sport you participate in?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because I thought you never can tell. You might be a football guy that uses the track because of the speed and that kind of thing. But I understand that. Colin, how about you?
I play basketball for the high school.
You do?
I do.
Really? Okay. And is there anything but with the track, does one correlate with the other in any way, or does it cause you, I guess then you miss the winter segment, right?
I do miss the winter segment, but it's always good to look forward to, because I've played so much basketball in my life, and this is only my second year in track, so to be able to come to outdoor track and be in the sun and with your friends is really
Oh, okay. Well, another thing I often wonder about, and we'll start with you, Catherine. Is there any team that you look forward to, or a meet where you know you're going to see a certain team where maybe you know some people or whatever that you look forward to over another match?
Honestly, through track and through all those races, when you line up, you meet so many people from so many schools. It's hard not to be excited to see your friends from other places. Okay,
yeah. Well, I was sort of understand that. Sophia, was there anybody that you've raced against you look forward to competing against a certain school or certain individuals?
There's certain people that I look forward to racing against. It's what she said, like you line up and you race against certain people based on your time, so you're racing them constantly, and it's fun to talk to them.
And we never want to finish second, do we? No. Okay. How about you, Carl? Do the guys, y'all look ahead to a team or certain individuals?
I mean, where we are, centralized in Alabama, most teams come to us, so we usually see the same teams every single time. And then, but I mean, everyone always looks forward to going to state and being able to participate in state, because it's different for us because we have to go down to Gulf Shores and we get to spend the night, have fun. That's when we really get to bond with the team, and we all really look forward to that every single year. And just competing wise, we always just compete with around the same people. So even I have more friends off our team with other people in other schools, as well as everyone on my team. It's just a huge track community.
Oh, okay. How about you, Colin? There's any, you look at it any differently?
I don't. In javelin, it's very individualized because you're getting your own distance, similar to Carl. But Hoover's track team, they've got a lot of good throwers. I look forward to meeting them every year. And javelin's just, we all can help each other out. It's not a thing where if you see somebody, you're wishing for the worst for them. You always hope for the best for other people, but you want to do your best as well. So Hoover and Mountain Brook and all those schools are really fun to compete against in javelin. Okay,
now look, I know that y'all work hard in two areas. One is the classroom, and the other is, of course, on the track. You wouldn't be able to run on the track if you didn't qualify in the classroom, so you work together. So I know y'all work hard, put in tough weeks and hours there, so you've got to do something to unwind, to relax. And so with that thought in mind, we'll start with you, Catherine. What do you do to sort of just chill?
I like to go for a run.
Oh my goodness, I tell you what, that should not surprise me, but sort of it does, but it shouldn't. I got a feeling. Sophia, you don't go for a run, do you?
I do not.
You run enough when you have to, right? What do you do to relax?
I honestly just like to hang out with my friends and at my house and play with my dogs.
Well, good, good. Okay, Carl, how about you, bud?
I just like to unwind at my house by myself and just have a little me time.
Well, you know what? When y'all are involved in a sport such as the track that you compete in all year long, I guess those breaks are when you want to be quiet time and just laid back and not real busy. How about you, Colin?
I like to work out. It's kind of my thing to help me relax, so I don't really relax.
Well, when you say work out, are you talking about maybe with the weights?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because you want to be able to throw it further, right?
Right, yes, sir.
So see, I haven't totally disconnected, right? Well, okay, listen, it's been a great talking with y'all. I hope, like the coach does, that y'all peak at the right time, which will be toward the end of the season when it's time to go to state. But to then, the last question I got, and we'll start with you, Miss Catherine. To this point in your young life, who's been the most inspirational person or persons?
Oh, the most inspirational people are my teammates because they're here with me every single step of the way. It's like a big track family, and you know, your family's always there for you, and we're always just encouraging each other and just helping each other get through the workouts and through the practices and helping each other get through school. I mean, my teammates inspire me.
Oh, okay. And how about you, Sophia?
I would have to say my friends on track and my family, my grandparents.
Well, good, good. It's nice to know how much each of y'all mean to each other, because that helps you not only in the classroom, but competing and in life, life itself. Carl, how about you?
I'd say my dad by far, and I just really look up to my dad, and I think he's one of the greatest guys in the world and just a complete role model, and so I've always looked up to my dad.
Good for you. Okay, Colin.
For me, the most inspirational people I've ever been around have been my coaches, because they can be with you in a team aspect, but then they're also there with you past the team. They're really there for your life. So coaches have always been great for me. Coach Huber, the javelin coach, Coach Boker, my basketball coaches. So just any coach I've ever been around has really been influential.
Well, good for you. Well, listen, guys and girls, the only thing I will say is as y'all leave today, I hope that you have an outstanding season and you peak at the right time. And if you win a championship, we'll all come back and celebrate it on the show before y'all take off for the summer, okay?
Thank you.
And folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, different sport, different coaches, different athletes. Don't you go away. We'll be right back.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm. Saved $760. Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Alan Gurdeau in Trussville today.
And folks, welcome back. And as you can tell, I've got another coach sitting beside me. We're going from the track. We're going to be back out in the field a little bit, but it's the sport of baseball, and we're talking about Coach Jake Wingo of the Leeds Green Wave. And Coach, first of all, awfully good to see you. And before, as we get this started, Coach, tell us a little bit about your background and what has led you to be the baseball coach here at Leeds.
Yes, first of all, thanks for having me. Yes, I started off in college. I was a student assistant at Alabama for 3 years, and I was a GA at UAB for a year. I had to make a family decision, so decided to get in high school sports, and was a head baseball coach for 3 years and head football coach for 4 in private school. And it was time for me to get in public school. And so I had previous relationships with some guys at Leeds, and so it ended up there, and it's been a great place, great experience, really good school system, and it's been a blessing.
Well, that's good. I know one of me, and I talked to you about this when we've talked. Keith Etheridge has been one of a good friend of mine for many, many years, and I'm sure you and he have worked together some, I suppose. But let's talk about this year's team a little bit. And when it comes to baseball, it's awfully easy to sit down and ask a coach, talk about your hitting, your defense, and your pitching.
Yeah. Yep. You know, we've been kind of up and down. We've had 2 really good games where I thought we pitched well, played great defense, and had good approaches at the plate. We've had a couple games where we didn't do that as well. It's early in the year. But I'm really proud of our guys, the character of our team. We got a bunch of good guys that work hard, push each other as a family, and so we've got some good leadership. And so we're, working those kinks out. But I think by the end of the year we'll reach our full potential. And Coach, what year now is this for you here, baseball coach? It's my second year at Leeds. Okay. Now you being here and even in your second year probably was different from last year. You're the one that I guess decides who y'all are going to play. Mm-hmm. And so when you set that schedule up, other than teams that are in your area, what determines what kind of teams or which teams you want to have on there? Do you want to have teams that would be a challenge? Mm-hmm. Do you want to have teams that you feel like you match up pretty good with? And would you even like to have teams that, if my team is playing the way they ought to, we should be the dominating team? Talk about that aspect and why you do it the way you do it. Yeah, when it comes to scheduling, I don't think there's one team on our schedule that's a guaranteed win. I try to schedule competitive games, some games that are going to get us ready for those area games like you're talking about, the ones that really matter, that make an impact on our playoff seeding and things like that. So, we started the year off, we've played 3 6A teams, us being a 4A, so some teams that are going to show us some good pitching, some arms that we'll see in the playoffs, and we've played a 5A team in St. Clair. And so we've played some teams that are bigger than us, and we've beat a couple of them. And I think it's good to just kind of get a measuring stick of where we are. And obviously you want to play teams that are close, fairly close by, that are going to give you a good game. And so, and people that are going to bring good crowds and bring a good gate that creates a good atmosphere. You also want to keep the rivalry games that you have, and it makes it fun for the kids that way. I know that every coach, I think, is like this. You're hoping that your team peaks toward the end of the season when you get close to playoffs. Now, who are in your area, the other teams that you're competing against in your area? We have Asheville High School, Aniana, and Childersburg. Now, in y'all's baseball playoffs, do all 4 qualify or the top 2? Top 2. Okay, so you got to be 1 or 2 or you're gonna miss it. That's right. We'll talk about the experience that you've got on your team. Is it a young team or is it a senior-laden team? Talk about it from that aspect. We've got a good mixture. You're going to talk to a couple of our senior leaders here in just a second. We've got some good senior leadership, and we've got a good mixture of young guys of 9th and 10th graders that are really contributing a lot on varsity. And so it's a good mixture. I'm excited about this group, but at the same time, you can kind of see what the future holds and what's coming in the future. And so Leeds baseball is going to be in good hands. And so it's a good mixture. Well, now another thing that I think is more important than sometimes we give it credit for, talk about the community, the way the parents, the way the administration back your program. Are you in a good situation there, and is it one that you can see building and getting better the longer you're there? Yes, it couldn't be better. The administration at Leeds is great. We've got great principals, great superintendent. The fans, the parents are great, supportive. They support our program. They come out, they travel well, and they're always encouraging. In our program, we have 3 jobs as a player, and it's get an education, it's be coachable, and it's be a great teammate. And that's why we're in school, is to get an education, and that's what's going to make them successful later in life. And being coachable, being able to take instruction and applying it. Because whatever you're doing, whether it be a job or playing baseball, we've constantly got to be able to learn and evolve to reach our full potential. And then be a great teammate. Do the little things. Be selfless. Put the teammates ahead of yourself. Put the team first. And all those things, if you do those 3 things in our program, I feel like it'll carry over to the field and we'll be successful. And you'll be successful in life too. But, and correct me if I'm wrong, and this is just my opinion, and I've been around sports all my life too. When it comes to high school baseball in particular, if you've got good pitching and good defense, 2 of the 3, if the one that's going to be lacking a little bit, I think you can escape with the offense maybe not being
quite as prolific as you'd want it to be, because it's sort of like football. If the other team don't score, you got a chance to win. And a lot of that has to do with two things, pitching and the defense. So how do you feel about that? And if you've got that offense, then you've got the complete package if it all comes together the way you foresee it.
Right. Well, right now we've got a few guys that are really swinging the bat well. As a team, we haven't gotten there yet. But you're exactly right. If you got a guy that's a good strike thrower on the mound that's going to give you a chance, and you play great defense, you got a chance against anybody. And it's just, you're right, just like football, if you can play great defense, you give yourself a chance. And these two guys you're going to start to talk to, they're two of our starting pitchers, and you know, they always give you a chance to win when they're on the mound. So yeah, that's a huge key.
When the time is running real short, the time seems to fly when you're having fun, I'm going to ask you almost an unfair question, but it's one that I'm curious in the answer. You're a young coach. Do you feel like you found your niche where you're at, or do you hope one day to either be at a bigger school or maybe college baseball, or do you feel like you're where you need to be?
I think God's got me where He wants me right now, and I take one day at a time. And if He wants me somewhere else, that's where I'll be. But I'm so happy at Leeds and couldn't ask for anything better, and all I can see right now is where I'm at.
Well, I tell you what, Coach, the one thing I know we can agree on, we hope for you and your team that they peak as they get closer to the playoff time and are playing their best baseball, where you got a shot maybe to do some damage in some playoffs.
Yes, sir.
Awfully good to meet you, and I wish you and your team all the best. We're going to visit with some of your players in just a minute, but awfully good to see you.
You too. Thank
Folks, we're going to take a quick break. We come back, some of the gentlemen that are going to be the reason they have really a good year or maybe an average year. We're hoping for a playoff year. We'll be right back.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of heaven is always best. Now you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors. A company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. We're at Huffman Electrical Contractors. A satisfied customer is always their #1 objective. And folks, welcome back. As you can tell, I got two outstanding young athletes sitting beside me. Finding out that both of them are pitchers. One of them may be a little bit more than a pitcher, and we'll talk about that in a second. Zach Roberts, senior.
Yes, sir.
Zach, not only do you pitch, you play third, catch, can play shortstop, and was all-state last year.
Yes, sir.
Did we miss anything?
No, sir.
You took up half my page. I want you to know that. But, hey, good to meet you and good to see you. And then Alex St. John, a senior. You're pitcher shortstop, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, as we get into the interview here a little bit, first of all, Zach, is baseball the only sport you play?
No, sir. I play football and basketball.
All right, what position in football?
Play quarterback in football.
I should have guessed that. All right, what about basketball?
Small forward and power forward.
Small and powerful. All right, now to me, a small forward is the smaller guy is the shooter.
Yes, sir.
The power forward is the one that does the dirty work. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Good for you. You're a nice-looking guy to do so much dirty work. So that's great. Alex, senior pitcher, shortstop.
Yes, sir.
All right. One question I always enjoy asking pitchers, and I'll let this arm get away, so I'll have to say something to Zach in a second. But do you mind if a guy digs in on you? Do you have a problem throwing high and tight on the inside?
I mean, I got to do what I have to do sometimes. So if that's what the call is giving me, I'm going to throw what I have to.
Have you ever hit anybody?
Once or twice, maybe more than that.
I think it goes with the territory,
yeah.
Okay. Alex, do you play any other sport?
No, sir, just baseball.
Oh, okay. All right. So, pitcher, shortstop, of those two positions, which one do you enjoy?
My dad's going to be mad, but I prefer shortstop. My dad always liked me as a pitcher, but shortstop's the position I like.
Okay. Well, what major league, is there a major league baseball player that you enjoy watching play?
Yeah, I like Javier Baez. How he can play any position in the infield. I just enjoy everything that he does.
I was going to say versatility means a whole lot, especially in high school. If a coach has got players, and Zach, you're familiar with that, play a lot of positions, you're invaluable when you can do that kind of thing. Now, having said that, now, Zach, I hate to put you on the spot, but that's what I get paid to do, okay? Which sport, you play all three sports, which one do you enjoy the most?
I love all three of them, but my favorite sport is baseball.
You're going to make a good politician, you know that?
Good answer, yeah.
When the coach is there, that's what you say, good boy. But I understand. Where are you, you know where you might be playing next year?
Right now, my only offer is Huntington, and I'm going to play football and baseball as of right now.
Okay, well, that's terrific. Along that same lines, being a senior as well, Alex, do you know where you'll be going next year?
I'm not committed to play anywhere. I might play at Wallace State. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, so wherever you go, you may try to play.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, that's terrific. Now, going into this year, when you see that schedule, Zach, are there any teams over another that you look forward to playing?
St. Clair, Lincoln, Moody.
So they're the closer, the teams that are closer around?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how about you, Alex?
I like playing St. Clair and Oneonta. That's a big area game. That's an Oneonta always playing for first in our area, so that's a good game to play.
Zach, if you had a chance, we're playing at the next level, collegiate level anyway, and let's talk baseball a second, if that's what the sport might be. What position do you think that you might end up with playing in college?
Probably third.
Third?
Yes, sir.
Big bat?
Yes, sir.
Home run hitter?
Yes, sir.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Complete package?
Yes, sir.
Don't be bashful.
No.
Hey, that's terrific. Yeah, third is a great position. Matter of fact, I got a grandson that's a third baseman at Hewitt Trustful this year, so that's a great position to play as well. All right, guys, look, I can tell from y'all's resume, y'all wear y'allself out playing ball and in the classroom. Because if you don't qualify in a classroom, guess what? You don't make it home plate, do you?
No, sir.
No, you don't. All right. So with that thought in mind, let's forget those two. What I want to know, now you guys look like two healthy young men, and you got that stress of the classroom and that stress that the coach puts on you out there on the baseball diamond. So Zach, with that thought in mind, what do you do to totally relax, to just get away from the pressure of the diamond in the classroom?
Normally, me and Alex and Tucker and a few other our friends, we'll go hang out, go get something to eat after the games, or when we have after practice, we always just hang out. We're like a big family.
Well, and I was going to say too, guys, and I mean this in a serious way, there's really during your baseball season and being in class all the time, there's not a lot of free time, is there? So I mean, you have to take care of business, but Alex, what do you do to unwind?
I mean, me and my friends, we like to go play like just street basketball, you know, and I also do a little powerlifting. So,
oh,
yeah.
really? Okay. All right. Just see how strong we're getting?
Yeah, I actually have a meet coming up. Well, I had one in March, but it got backed up to October because baseball kind of interfered with it.
Yeah, well, we can't let nothing interfere with baseball.
No, sir.
Okay? All right, one thing that I wonder about too is athletes, and you two guys are two great athletes. We're a superstitious bunch. I was an athlete once, and you playing all these different sports that you play. Do you have any superstitions or things that you do that maybe make you feel like it's going to make you produce better?
In football, we always made it to the playoffs, and you know that's November, so that's No Shave November. And normally, if every first possession of the football game before I went out, I'd grab some of the grass pulled up, move around in my hand, and throw it down, and we always scored. So I did that every first possession, and we did good. I felt like this is something I had to do. And
you always scored?
Yes, sir.
Just gonna make sure you didn't mess up that tradition.
Oh, yes, sir.
You're a man after my own heart. You're a businessman, that's for sure. Alex, how about you?
This might seem kind of gross, but everybody on my baseball team knows that if I start hitting good or we have a good game, I know the next game I'm not gonna wash my baseball pants. They're going to be brown and real dirty.
Well, that's okay. And instead of Alex, they call him Smelly, and especially if he's a hot hit, you know, and everything. Well, that's terrific, guys. Well, listen, I know from talking to the coach that he's expecting big things out of y'all, as I'm sure you expect out of yourself. So first of all, being seniors, I wish you all the luck in the world on having a great season, and especially peak come playoff time. Don't play your best baseball right now because it don't count the most. But the sooner we get there, you'll be playing your best. But most of all, you guys being seniors, good luck to you. I will tell you this, I've enjoyed this conversation. There's only one way we can do it again. That is, if y'all win the championship, I'll have you back up here. And maybe this time we can get old Tucker up here and we'd have a threesome, okay?
Yes, sir.
But guys, first of all, awfully nice to meet you. Last question, to this young point in your young lives, who's been the most inspirational person or persons?
Definitely my parents. They've pushed me through so much through my life, and it's been a blessing.
Good
I love them both.
Good for you. How about you, Alex?
Mine would be my dad, because growing up, nothing was really given to him, and he had to earn everything he's got now. He's raised me the same way.
Well, I tell you what, guys, it's been a pleasure to meet you. Good luck. Have a great season. Good luck when you're off to college, okay?
All right, thank
and folks, we've had another outstanding show, outstanding coaches, outstanding athletes. Come back next week. We'll do it again. To then, you know what the snapper always said, bye.